Hello and welcome once again to the Cocked Dice. We're back again with another solo game of Perilous Tales. Tonight we are playing The Thing in the Swamp. Butch Sullivan and co face off against a swamp fiend and a bunch of clawed tentacles. Board is set up and ready to go. We have the following objectives in play tonight. We have Get Evidence, we have Hunt the Fiends, we have one of the new objectives, which is Leave No Stone Unturned, which requires me to uncover all the threat markers, which is going to be dangerous. In addition to that, we have the three following threats on the board. We have Unsteady Underfoot, which you've seen and played multiple times, 1,000 Cuts, a regular feature as well, and one of the new threats, which is Driven Back. So when this is revealed, every hero within 6 inches of the revealer must make a skill check, and they're pushed back 3 inches -1 for each success. So that's just, I thought it was quite interesting to try that out on tonight's game. So this game is filmed using version 3 of the beta rules, so if there are any differences between this and the final rules, that is why. So complain about the rules now and not in 6 months' time, because it may not matter anymore. So I'm going to get the game going. We'll be back in a minute. So let's introduce our heroes for tonight's game. We have at the front here Butch Sullivan returning with Tough Guy and Crazed. Over this side we have Umbatu with Brute. We have Ahmed with Marksman this time. We have Ginger over here, who is our medic. And on the very far end over this side we have Shelby, the newsboy, with his camera. And for the villains tonight, this is the Swamp Fiend and not alligators, because I don't have any alligators. Sorry, Mike. So in the middle here is the Swamp Fiend itself. It's a master lurker, 15 wounds, skill 8. It's pretty tough, and it has the frenzied ability as well, which is quite scary if it gets in close. These lot of tentacles, I've got 5 sets of them tonight, basically all the tentacles I could find in my box of random gribbly things. They're going to be the alligators, so I'm calling them clawed tentacles. They're minions, pack hunters, 6 wounds each, skill 5, so for a minion they're pretty tough. These guys get surprise, so when this model spawns, any attacks it does during that round get in the advantage. So they're going to be quite tough on the ambush, and if they appear during the game for any of the threat results. Alrighty, and we are off for tonight's game. So in line with the new setup rules, the heroes have set up within 2 inches of their board edge, but not touching the board edge. Brings them in just a little bit closer than usual. So I think we'll start with the easy actions first of all. We'll use Umbatu here. He will move just up to here, staying out of 6 inches of both of these markers. His second action, he will go on Eyes Peeled. Shelby is going to move through this terrain over here. Now, as we said last time, this is half movement, so he's going to move half to there, and will also go on Eyes Peeled. Ahmed here will move just up here, 6 inches there and there, and he will go on Eyes Peeled. Ginger will move 4 over here, go on Eyes Peeled. Butch will move, it's actually going to be quicker to run around this, so he's going to jog around this terrain and run right up to here, 8 inches, and trigger these 2 markers here. So that ends our hero's first phase. So we'll reveal these 2 markers. This one, what is the, just cursey. That is threat number 1. Threat number 1, of course, is the Swamp Fiend. It is the master. He is straight out tonight. Bajunk. He's actually going to appear right ahead of Butch. Oh dear, that looks terrible for Butch. He appears right there. Sorry, Butch, this is not good. Luckily, I've got a bunch of people with Eyes Peeled, so we will do some tests for that. Umbatu can't see. So we will start with Shelby, the newsboy, over here, taking a shot. So that's 3 dice because it's a shot. However, he's now working at a disadvantage. So Mike's changed the rules in version 3. So the Any shooting, eyes peeled. Let me just have a quick read of the rules. So yeah, until the end of the round, the first time a villain spawns in line of sight of this model may make one attack action against the spawned model. This attack action suffers disadvantage and interrupts any ambush. If a shooting attack is made by eyes peeled, it may be made even if the target is engaged. Note, taking this action multiple times has no effect. So we've got a 3 dice shot with eyes peeled. So we roll there, we've got disadvantage, so we take the 7 away, which means it's a 10 and therefore a critical failure for Shelby. This monster now reacts. Now, oddly enough, he's a lurker, and this is where it gets a little bit bizarre. So his reaction as a lurker is slink away. So he's not within an inch of a threat marker, but he moves himself within an inch of a threat marker, like that. Away from Butch and towards that marker. Yeah, so Akama's going to shoot next. Now he has marksman. That gives him the advantage on all shooting attacks. That advantage cancels out the disadvantage from the eyes peeled, and so we'll just roll a normal roll, 3 dice and a difficulty dice. So we score a difficulty of 7. Obviously the minimum difficulty for shooting is 5, and so we score a single hit on this beastly creature here. And then we apply the reaction again, which is slink away. If this model is within 1 inch of an unrevealed threat marker, take a hide action. Otherwise, move 1 inch. So he's now within an inch of this unrevealed threat marker here. And so until the start of the next villain turn, all attack actions that target this model will suffer disadvantage. I don't think you can get double disadvantaged. Right, I've checked the rules. You cannot get a double disadvantage. So that hide action doesn't actually make any difference at all. So we'll do Ginger next. She's going to take a shot. She's still with normal disadvantage. She gets a difficulty of 6 and scores a pair of 9s, which gives it 2 more damage. Okay, so that is the end of its appearance. So we're on with the villain's turn. It is threat level 1 currently. So we will take a threat check. It gets a pair of 9, so that's a 0. So that is simply threatening overtures and increases the threat level to 2. Now we're on to monstrous behaviour. So this guy is a lurker. First check is the threat level higher than 7? No, it's not. All the threat markers haven't been revealed, so we then move on to the action. It raises the alarm. If this model is within range of an unrevealed threat marker, within an inch of one, select the hero closest to the heroic board edge, Shelby, and spawn a random minion within 1 inch of that hero. Well, I've only got one type of minion tonight, which is lots of tentacles. So that is going to spawn close to the hero board edge as possible. So that leaps out of the ground there. Okay. However, now, this is going to get complicated. Umbatu can now see this. So Umbatu is going to take a quick shot with disadvantage at that. He gets a difficulty of a 9, and he scores a single 9 to plop 1 wound on it. There we go. So that's everyone's done their eyes peeled. We now carry on the actions for this guy. So he's raised the alarm, then villainous attack. He can't attack because he's now an inch away because he slunk off before. And so he falls back to move skulk. Move this model 6 inches towards a unrevealed threat marker. Oh, hang on. Should have flipped this threat marker as well. That's a 7. So before we do the rest of his actions, we'll just step back a little bit and do that, because he'll skulk backwards to this marker down here instead of doing that. So we'll just do a 7. 7 is 1,000 cuts. So Butch is going to take a skill 3 attack. It's difficulty of 10, so it fails to do anything to Butch. So that's now a revealed threat marker. So we'll return to this guy. He skulks, he moves back 6 inches, so he can only move 4 to there, and he's now touching this threat marker over here, and I'll just leave this dice nearby. And then, up to no good, if this model is the first model this round to take this action whilst in range of an unrevealed threat marker, increase the threat level by 1, so we're now up to threat level 3. That actually isn't very helpful for this game because I'm in a real rush to do the leave no stone unturned, and I really need to start checking these threat markers quickly. But the fact he's backing off is really helpful. Okay, so that is the Swamp Fiend done. It's backed off for now until it gets some more buddies. Next up, we've got the tentacled beastie that's attacking Shelby. So it pops out of cover. Now it is also, it's a pack hunter. So, are there any other villains within 3 inches of this model? No, if not used a lurker. Lurker. Raise the alarm. It's not in range. Okay, it doesn't do that. Then it does a villainous attack. So it just attacks him then. So it is a skill of 5. That's quite good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It attacks Shelby. It gets difficulty of 5. Shelby's skill's only 2, so that's fine. It gets 1, 2, 3 successes against Shelby. So that does 3 damage on the cameraman back here. And then it does its move action, which is Skulk, which is move 6 inches towards the nearest threat marker, which is going to be right this one over here. So it's going to move 6 inches right down here to near where Butch is. It should have actually had the, I forgot to do that. Should have had the advantage. Let's just see if no, it wouldn't have made any difference there. So that's the end of our villain's turn. We return to our heroes. So we're going to start with Butch Sullivan. He is going to first of all order Ginger to move. She's going to make a 4-inch move over to next to Shelby here. So she just stands within an inch of him. He's then going to take a shot at this set of tentacles down here. 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a shooting attack. It is a minimum skill of 5. He scores a 5 and he gets 1, 2, 3 successes. So that's 3 wounds on this set of tentacles. Takes it up to 4 damage. He'll do the same again for his third action. He gets difficulty 6 this time, scores another 3 successes, and that kills that little beastie and adds 1 to our Hunt the Fiends value. It's a great start. Thank you, Butch. Okay, next up, Ginger at the back here will heal Shelby. She gets difficulty 5, scores a single success, healing 2 wounds from Shelby. Okay. Ahmed is going to stay outside of 6 of that, but he's going to move up to here. No, he's not. He's going to move over here, staying outside of 6 of it, and then go on Eyes Peeled. Shelby is going to move 4 once and then move 4 inches up to here, just behind Butch, so that hopefully next time he's going to be able to get a shot at the master, so for the get evidence objective. Umbatu is going to go next. He's going to move right up to here. Can he actually trigger more than 1? 6. He could come over here. No, because then he'll have to do 1,000 cuts. He could go over this way. So he was next to there. Move. I trigger two markers there. So the first marker he triggers is number 5. That is another clawed tentacle. We'll have a nice, in fact I'm going to get one of the ones that's going to stand up on there. It's a clawed tentacle. It appears and moves into range of Ahmed. Of Umbatu. So Ahmed's going to take a quick shot at it. So again, he ignores the disadvantage because he always rolls with advantage. He gets difficulty 3, shooting attack is minimum difficulty 5, and he scores a 9 and a 10, so that is 3 damage on that tentacle as it appears. Unfortunately, I've got no other shots there. So that thing appears. We've done the action to it, and then the other threat marker over here also gets flipped. That is a 3. That is another set of tentacles that appears over here. And there's nothing Umbatu can do about that. So that ends our hero's turn. We're up to the villain's turn, and we have got to the threat check. It is now threat level 3. No, it's not. I completely lied. It's threat level 4 because I should have raised it 1 for him last turn. Completely forgot about that. There we go. So threat level 4. Only got 2 successes there. So that's Noose Titans. So we're going to move a bunch of these in. 1, 1. This one obviously moves forward as well. Because they're all, that's towards the centre, that's towards these guys. So that's probably a little bit over there. That's good. I like Noose Titans. And then we go to Threatening Overtures and increase the threat level, which takes us up to 5. Next up, we'll do some villains. And I've completely forgotten which order they came out in, so I will just randomise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 is the furthest tentacle first. So again, it is a pack hunter. Now, handily, we've got slightly different rules here. There is another villain within 3 inches. So then it stays a pack hunter, therefore it does a villainous attack. So this attack is done with advantage. It was actually double advantage. It doesn't really advantage it anymore because it's engaged with another model. It is skill 5. And Umbatu is going to take... Oh, he's lucky, I think, there. So it's a difficulty of 2. Umbatu's skill in melee is actually 5. So the minimum difficulty of this attack is 5. And it only scores a single success against him. There we go. And then after that, it does its... Pack hunter. No, it doesn't. It doesn't fall back because that's only when it's lurking. Oh, Umbatu's going to have to do some pretty solid work on these 2. The other one will also attack him. Skill 5 again. It rolls a minimum difficulty of 5. That's fine. He scores a 5, a 6 and a 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 more damage on Umbatu. So that takes Umbatu up to 5 damage. Youch. Finally, we'll do the Swamp Fiend over here. So it's still a lurker. It's not threat 70 plus. So it's, first of all, it raises the alarm because it is in contact with a marker. That's going to jump on Ginger right back here because she's the closest one to the board edge. And then it's going to do a villainous attack. It can't. And then it's going to skulk, but it's already on top of the nearest threat marker. So that doesn't do anything. Oh, I forgot to do the reaction to one of those. This one should have slunk away, I think, because it's oh no, reaction step forward. So it doesn't matter, wouldn't have made a difference. And finally, in the villain's turn, we've got this attack against Ginger at the back here. Now, she is in a piece of area terrain. I've always counted these as cover, half movement, and you get cover crossing them. So it's going to fight her in the terrain, so it's going to lose the advantage. It gets a difficulty of 8 and only scores a single success. So she takes 1 damage. And then it's a pack hunter, so it uses lurker behaviour, and therefore it is going to skulk after that, which is move 6 inches towards the nearest unrevealed threat marker, which is probably this one over here. So it's going to pile straight into the back of Butch as it runs away from Ginger after it doing its little terrifying lash attack from the swamplands. Excellent. So we'll move back to our heroes now. For the hero's first action, I'm going to have to do Shelby, simply because I need to get this photo of the bad guy before I kill him. And I'm going to have to start killing him soon. I need to wipe up some more tentacles, but I'm going to have to get onto him before he comes at me. So Shelby is within 6 inches of it. So he is going to take a skill check. Fortunately, he can't focus because it's a 2 skill ability. So off we go. It's difficulty 7. He scores an 8. So he manages to grab a photo of the master. And that increases the current threat level to 6, which isn't overly helpful. again, means I need to kill the master and get that threat level down really quite quickly. Butch is going to go next. He, first of all, is going to turn around and give that set of tentacles a swift kicking behind him. 3, 4. He rolls a 4 for his difficulty. It is skill 5. So that's okay. We're on a 5 then. And he gets an 8 and a 10. So that's 3 damage to it with his first attack. He's going to give it a good smack again. This time he gets difficulty 1, that obviously increases to 5. He gets a 5, 9, a 3 and a 1, so that's only 2 more damage. Takes up to 5, which is a pity because I was hoping he'd have a spare attack. So he's going to have to use his last attack to attack it again. Difficulty 3, that moves up to 5 and he scores. Instead he scores 4 hits that time. So that tentacle is dead. We'll pop that off. We'll increase our Hunt the Fiend's score county score to 2. That's those 2 done. Next up, I'm going to do Umbatu over here. Umbatu here is going to attack this wounded tentacle first of all. Now he's rolling at disadvantage, but he does have +3 attacks. He's rolling 5 dice. Let's see how we do here. That's not bad. So his highest dice for difficulty was 4. That gets increased to 5 because the tentacles are skill 5. He scores a 6, a 9, a 10 and another 6. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage on this tentacle, and that kills that tentacle outright. Pushing us up to 3 for Hunt the Fiends. He's now going to do the really sensible thing and he's going to run away because he's only got 3 wounds left. So we are going to make a escape from combat roll. So it's going to be a minimum difficulty of 5 and on a 1 success. Oh, Ahmed, no. Okay, because I don't want to lose Umbatu. This is quite an aggressive game. I need to get him in. I'm going to use my re-roll. So Mike's added a new rule in the latest version of the rules, which is called Last Ditch. Once per game, you can re-roll a single skill check or attack made by a hero. And I'm going to re-roll this one because I could really do with this escape. So he rolls a 4 this time. It gets increased to 5. And luckily this time, Umbatu has scored a 5 and makes a last-ditch scurry as fast as he can away from the tentacle. Off he goes towards the safety of Ginger and her healing abilities. So next up this turn, we're going to do Ahmed, who I keep calling something else. Not doing very well with names tonight. He's got marksman. He's going to take a shot at this tentacle over here. So he always rolls with advantage, but he only has a skill of 2. Cock dice there. Just re-roll that one. 10. So he fails his first shot. Second shot. He takes the 7 away, gets a 2. He manages to strike for 3 damage. There we go. That's pretty good. And Ginger next. She's going to make her job next turn a little easier. And double move over to Umbatu there. And thus ends our hero's turn. We're on to the villains. We're already at threat level 6. So let's take a threat check. It's difficulty of 4. We have a 5, a 6, a 7, a 10, an 8 and a 4. That's 7 successes. Because I count criticals, don't I? I'm pretty sure I count criticals. That is 7 successes, and that is the trap is sprung. Move the 2 unrevealed threat markers furthest from any hero 7 inches towards the target's hero for each of them. So the targeting rules have changed very slightly. I just need to double check those. Target hero in range of the current action. Doesn't have a current action. A model within 3 inches of an objective marker. Haven't got any of them. The model has suffered the most wounds. They're coming piling towards Umbatu. Oh, Umbatu. So the furthest, that's the furthest. That comes 7 inches in to there. That is just within 6 inches. So that is going to pop. I've just realised let's just move them over there. So they wouldn't have triggered that because I forgot about that. So that moves to there. And it's just outside 8 inches of Umbatu. And next, this one will likely be the next one, and that's going to come 7 inches over here to there, which is definitely inside. And that flips. That is a number 4. You know what that is going to be. That is yet another set of tentacles that pops out there. Oh dear, might lose Umbatu this turn. Okay, and then we do From the Shadows. So each master removes 3 wounds. It's only taken 3 wounds. That's new. Thanks, Mike, for that. Next, then select the hero with the fewest friendly moles within 3 inches. That will be Ahmed, because he's only got 1. Oh, because it could actually also be Umbatu, or either these 2. So it's anyone but Ginger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2. It's Umbatu. And then spawn another set of tentacles on him. Then we do Crawling Chaos, so we're up to horror checks. Favourite time of the game, honestly. So, Umbatu, first of all. Not only is he badly wounded, but he's also horrified, and he's now knocked down. Ginger. Oh, I've just launched my difficulty dice across the room. Ginger gets difficulty 6, but scores a 7, so she's okay. Ahmed, he gets difficulty 5, scores a 6, and Shelby, the newsboy, gets difficulty 5 and scores a 6. Butch, of course, is immune to horror checks because he is the greatest hero in the world. Next, we do the Noose Titans. So this moves this one 1 inch forward, this one 1 inch forward, and we flip that one. That's an 8. 8 is driven back. Every hero within 6 inches of the revealer makes a skill check. So that's just these 3 over here. So we start with Ginger. She makes a skill check. She gets 3 successes, so she doesn't move. Ahmed, he gets no successes, so he is pushed back 3 inches from the marker to there. And Umbatu can't move and is already knocked down, so there's no point taking a skill check for him, even though running away would be really handy at the moment. So that's that done, and then finally we do Threatening Overtures, and that moves the threat level up to the Magic 7. Why is that the Magic 7, Ian? That's the Magic 7 because this guy is a lurker, and when this guy gets the threat level 7, he becomes aggressive. This is going to get really brutal really quickly. Let us randomise where we start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's this tentacle down here. So it leapt out from the ambush. It's not called ambush anymore, but it was deployed this turn, and he's also knocked down, so it's kind of double bad. Let's roll some dice. So it gets a difficulty of 9, 9. So it can't really do that. However, it does get a pair of 10s, which are 2 critical successes. That is 4 damage on Umbatu. That takes him up to 9 damage, and he is out of the game. Next up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9. It is the Swamp Monster. No, Swamp Fiend. That's it. It is the Swamp Fiend. He is now aggressive. Aggressive, check, nothing, villainous attack, move, advance, then villainous attack. So, if this model has any hero in range and line of sight of its villainous attack, do nothing. Otherwise, move it towards 6 inches towards the hero. Oh, I forgot about that marker down there. Okay, so we work through that, and then it does an attack. And I have just realised I should have moved 2 inches for the step forward for the 2 shots it took. Oh, never happened. Okay, so the Swamp Fiend attacking Butch. It's skill 8. 3, 4, 5. Its abilities are Pile Driver. If this villain's attack causes 1 or more wound, the target is pushed back 2 inches. And then Frenzy. Oh, it might pile across onto Shelby as well. Let's go. It gets a 2. Now, Butch's skill is 4. So we've got a minimum value of 4. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes there. Ouch. Butch gets pushed back. Is it 2 inches? Oh, I've completely forgotten what I just said. Push back 2 inches as it lunges at him, snapping, thrashing. There we go. Just pop him on the end there with his 7 damage. Because it is frenzied, it then turns its attention on poor old Shelby the newsboy. I could really, really do with Shelby surviving this because he's got the photo and he's got 3 victory points. He's not going to survive if I do that. It gets a difficulty of 6. It scores 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 damage on him. He's alive, but only just. And he is pushed back 2 inches as well. Okay, got 2 more bad guys to go. We've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, it's the first tentacle over there. So these are pack hunters. There's more friendlies there, so it attacks. If it can't attack, it advances. So it's going to shoot forward towards Ginger there. And then it villainous attacks. She's on her own. It's got a skill of 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. And off it goes. So it gets difficulty of 8. She's very lucky tonight. She only takes 1 more damage. And then finally, this last tentacle over here will do the same. It will move into contact with Ginger. And we'll take another check. Okay, it gets difficulty 8 and she takes no damage whatsoever. Blimey. It's not looking good. That is the end of the round. We are back to our hero's turn. My first action is going to be with Butch. So first action is going to be with Butch. He's going to order Ginger to run away from combat. Skill 5 and needs 2 successes. She doesn't make it. Okay, his next 2 actions. He might be brave, he might be the world's greatest hero, but he knows when tides are turning. And as in previous games where he stood and fought to the end, this time he's going to make good his getaway. And so he's going to make a 4-inch move, followed by a 4-inch move off the table to survive the game. We'll move on to Shelby. He's going to do exactly the same because he has my points. He's going to move and step off the table. So we're going to get Ginger make a escape roll again. Come on, Ginger. She gets 1 success. She needs to get 2 successes because there are 2 villains next to her. This is not going well. She'll try it. Oh, she might just kick that one in the teeth. She's going to die here. So I think what we'll do is Ginger will just, yeah, she's going to give this wounded one a bit of a kicking. Possibly should have done that first, then tried to run away from the other one. And then used, nah, you live and learn these things. Come on, let's give it a quick, no, because it'll be at disadvantage. Whatever, let's go, hit it. So she gets a difficulty of 5, she causes 2 successes and does 2 more damage to it. 5. It then does its pack hunter step forward. It can't, it's already in contact, it's fine. Ahmed is going to leave the table as well. That's the end of the hero's turn. It's now up to the villain's phase. We're on threat level 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 of them. Okay, we've got a difficulty of 2. There is only Ginger on the table, so that is a minimum of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. That is only from the shadows. She's the only model on the board. That leaps out at her. Next up, we have Crawling Chaos. So next we do a horror check. She gets difficulty 4, scores a 9, so she's okay there. Then we do the Noose Titan. So this one moves forward an inch, this one moves forward an inch. That's okay. And then we do Threatening Overtures and takes it up to threat level 8. Next up, it's the villain's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's this one here. So this is an existing one, so it doesn't attack with it does attack with the advantage anyway because she's surrounded. 3, 4, 5. It bites her. It gets the difficulty of 3. Scores 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes, and Ginger is pulled down into the swamp, dead as a doornail. So there we have it. That is the end of tonight's game. It was not pretty. I'm not overly proud that everyone ran away. However, we'll do a quick count of the points for the game tonight. So our leader is alive at the end of the game. That is 1 victory point. I've lost teammates, so I can't count that one. However, the whole party is not dead, so that's okay. We're all right there. We've got 1 victory point. Next up, we got the evidence. That's brilliant. Well done, Shelby there. That takes us up to 4 victory points. Hunt the Fiends. We killed a total of 3 of the minions. That scores us another 3 victory points for 7 points. Unfortunately, we didn't score No Stone Unturned. There were 2 markers on there. I did and ah about it, but I decided not to go piling into them after all. And so, with 7 victory points for tonight's game, we got adequate. I'll give you a shilling for it. We barely made it into a pulp comic this week. And thank you very much for joining us here once again at the Cock Dice. Please like this video, comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you again in a week's time for another perilous adventure.